Hi, everyone. Welcome back to the podcast. It's your host, Sarah. And today I'm so excited to have Julia join us and share her story. We've been like Instagram friends, pals, buddies for a couple years now and have had a chance to interact. And I've followed her journey to pursuing her dreams, and it's just been really cool. So I'm excited for everyone to meet Julia. Tell us why you're here. What's up? What's your story?
I'm so excited to be here too. Thank you so much for having me. Well, I'm here because I am a fellow borderline personality disorder girly, and I was diagnosed in 2021, but I feel like I felt the first symptoms start in like 2012 or something, or 2013. So just like finding this community of fellow borderline people who support each other and understand each other is amazing. And yeah, we've been Instagram friends for a while now, and I'm just like so happy to be joining you for the podcast today and hopefully be like a person that people can feel like understood with or seen by. So yeah.
Absolutely. And so 2023 diagnosis, I think you said, but started feeling symptoms in 2012. So about how old were you when you noticed your symptoms began?
So actually it was 2021
Okay.
diagnosis. Um and that was when I was, hold on, let me do some math. 21. Okay, so I think I was 24 when I was diagnosed because I'm 29 now. And I started feeling the symptoms at, I would say, 14 to 15 years old. So that would be, yeah, a long time of just not knowing what is going on and just
Mhm.
like thinking I am crazy
Mhm.
and just like, yeah, but
And that's pretty like standard borderline symptoms to present in those teenage years, right? Like this is when we really start noticing, oh, we're different than our peers. And this isn't just hormonal and like this isn't just, um, it's what is it when you're a teenager and you're going through what
like teenage angst.
yeah, like whatever those years are and you realize like I'm not on par here. I'm like way above this.
Yes, yeah, like I had no idea that my emotions were just like so strong and like I was feeling like every emotion I could possibly feel at a time. And when I got the diagnosis, honestly, I was relieved and I felt like kind of seen. Like I felt I was I'm not gonna say I felt happy, but I felt like a relief and just kind of like, okay, this makes sense. I am not like who I think I am, which was like a crazy person who is so angry and like all that. So, yeah, like I just feel like my teenage years were really when it all started, I feel. I know that a lot of BPD can start in childhood, and I've kind of like gone through that and like tried to process through childhood and therapy and stuff like that. But I believe that it started in my very early teen years, like 13, 14. And actually, like I always thought to myself, and I've kind of talked about this a little in therapy, but like people talk about healing their inner child, and I totally like get that. But for me, I also feel like there's something called like healing the inner teen. And like that was definitely when it all started, I have a feeling. So I kind of resonate with like early teenage years when it started.
And was there anything like going on in those years that sort of triggered the symptoms, do you think, if you're willing to share?
I have a feeling, honestly, like nothing like in my family life or like home life. I just think it was when I started getting into dating and relationships. That's when it all started. Like, my first relationship was pretty toxic, but like, I just remember holding on to it and not knowing that I should break up with this person. And I was just like, that was kind of when the fear of like being alone symptom like really showed up because I would never break up with the person I was dating, even though I definitely should have. So that was when like the fear of being alone slash fear of abandonment started. And those were kind of the first few symptoms that I saw and that I've like experienced.
Oh man, I think back to my first boyfriend when I was a teenager. Holy shit, what a nightmare, right? Like breaking up, getting back together, breaking up, getting back together, breaking up,
Oh
getting back
my
together. The
gosh.
whole thing. And then I remember like he like briefly saw another like dated another girl in the middle of it and I like in the hallway in front of everyone because she like sent him some nudes and this was like way before iPhones.
Uh-huh.
I doubt you could see anything in these photos, but I just like found that girl in the hallway at school and I called her a slut in front of everyone and I was just like so out of my mind. Like I just of course it's borderline. Of course. Like this is not normal behavior.
Yes. Oh my gosh, yeah. Those teenage high school years are very haunting and just like what could have it been? Like why was I so like emotional and deep into my relationship that didn't even serve me? And it's like, oh my gosh, it all makes sense. I'm like clinging on to this person because, oh, the favorite person syndrome, or like just the fear of being alone, and just like, yeah. So I feel that.
Yeah, I mean, I think that love is absolutely intoxicating when you have borderline, especially like the early stages of love. It's very addicting and like the fear of losing what you perceive to be love, especially as a teenager, is devastating.
Oh my gosh, you couldn't have described it in a better way. Just like, yeah, it is devastating, and especially as a teenager, because it's like you don't know better. You think that this is what love is. And especially as someone with borderline, your emotions are like 10 times more intense. And just the thought of losing the person is like, yeah, it reminds me of an old episode I listened to in the podcast. It's like you feel like someone died. It like a breakup feels like someone died, and it's just like crazy. So,
Yeah, absolutely. Do you remember if your parents thought anything during those years? Because I think my parents were like so just like clueless with how to deal with me. Like they definitely knew I was off my rocker, but like had no idea how to cope with it. How do you feel like your parents were?
I feel like my parents, so they definitely did their best in raising me. And like, the thing is, in high school, I was pretty secretive with my emotions. And like, every time me and my then boyfriend would fight, like, I wouldn't talk about it. I would hide that I was crying, or I'd hide that we had a fight. Like, I because of the self-shame that I felt. Like, so they didn't really see necessarily the like peaks of borderline symptoms that I felt. But I mean, of course, they were there when I had breakups and stuff. And I think my parents might have just thought that I was a very emotional teen. And they didn't really like think too much because I would say my like moving into college was when like it got like my BPD was very, very present. And that's when my parents got involved because that's when my boyfriends would be calling my mom, and being like, I don't know how to handle Julia. Like, I need help. Like, so in high school, I was pretty secretive and like, not secretive, but just like I would show my emotion, but I wouldn't talk about it. So they in high school kind of were just, like normal parents, but in college I could tell they were very concerned. Like they also didn't know what to do. I felt like they might have, I don't know if they felt like helpless, but I just remember a time where I went to college an hour and a half away from home, and one night I had like a BPD episode, and like the DPS, which is like the cops in the school in the university, got involved, and the school got involved, and they called my parents, and like they literally drove an hour and a half to me in the middle of the night, and like they were definitely concerned. And I remember just brushing it off and being like, it's okay. Like, mom, dad, it's fine. Just like I still didn't like talking about it to them. And I didn't like, because I didn't know I had BPD at the time. So I just like did not like talking about the conflicts that I would have in relationships because I really thought I was crazy, the crazy one who started it all and like all that stuff. So I felt like my parents also felt a little helpless, but more worried. Like they were very supportive and like tried to understand, but of course it's so hard to understand. So yeah. Um when they started to get involved, they definitely were worried.
Were they ever angry at you, or did you ever perceive them to be angry at you for having to like drive to come see you or whatever?
I didn't in high school, maybe just because, that's when you're in your teen years and you're moody. And I I always kind of thought, are, are people mad at me? Like, is everyone mad at me? But no, in when they drove an hour and a half to see me, they definitely did not show anger. They maybe showed just confusion and like wanting to like do anything they can to like be there. Like honestly, I feel just very lucky to have the parents that I have because like they never were angry at me for like, I can't believe you got the school involved and I have to drive an hour and a half. Like they never questioned that. They knew that there was something wrong, especially my mom. I feel like she knew like this is not normal, but we had no idea what BPD was. I didn't know what it was until I got diagnosed. I didn't hear about it. So my mom just knew, like, okay, there's got to be something because, like, why am I lashing out at my mom like this? Like my anger was so heightened and all that. But yeah, um, they didn't really get angry at me, which I feel very lucky for and grateful. Definitely.
Yeah, the reason I ask is because I definitely perceived my parents to be angry at me. Like the one time I had like a crisis scenario that they had to get involved in, I I think one of my parents was really frustrated, and I look back at that situation and wish that they would have been able to have more empathy, more concern rather than anger. But everyone deals with these things differently.
Yeah.
What prompted you to seek out like therapy at 24 or whatever when you got diagnosed? What was the trigger?
So at this point, I had moved out of home and I was living with my now boyfriend, or not boyfriend, husband, my now husband.
It's a new marriage for her, so
Yeah,
that's okay.
it's still new, but now husband, Dakota. But then at that point, we were just we were just best friends who reconnected. So, that was kind of like muddy waters because we fell into a situationship in a way that, like, we were best friends who kind of reconnected, and there was definitely something there, but I had just kind of also gotten out of a recent relationship that ended because of my borderline symptoms and just like bad stuff. And I told myself like I'm gonna be single for like a year or something because I need to work on myself. But of course, I found myself living with Dakota. We had like a situationship in a way that, we were kind of acting like we were dating, but not. But I like put a boundary in for myself, but I wasn't following it. And eventually, of course, it got to a point where seeked help from my family and our also mutual friend, or my best friend from high school, because who's also his friend, because we all met in high school. But anyways, and that was kind of like at that point, one, two, three guys have already called my parents that, and at this point I wasn't even in a relationship with Dakota. So now it's just even a friend calling help, not even my boyfriend. So I was just like, I need help so badly. And that wasn't my first time seeking therapy. I did seek it like in college, but it was not the right time. Like it was kind of forced, and this time I really was like, yes, I need help. Like I want to figure out what's wrong. Like I was doing extensive research. I thought like, is there autism because of my like tantrums? Is it like, what could it be? Like I had no idea. So yeah, at 24, I got some help. Found a therapist who didn't focus or didn't specialize in BPD or DBT, but with everything that I talked about with her, she was like, so, I think that you might have borderline personality disorder. And first time hearing that, was a little scared because it sounded it sounds like, if you don't know what it is, like borderline personality disorder, like it sounds a little scary. But I was also seeing a psychologist, or no, yeah, psychiatrist at that time. So she was like, speak to your psychiatrist about it. And that same meeting with my psychiatrist, when I like brought it up, she was like, I was just about to say that you have borderline, like you definitely have it. And so that was when I was like, oh my gosh, like an answer, it makes sense. Um, and that was just the start of me knowing and doing the work. But yeah, it was another somewhat relationship, not relationship, that made me seek like professional help and like find the right diagnosis because I just feel like it was like an ongoing pattern, like my relationships or just like anyone that I saw as like a significant other, they would get the wrath. They would get the anger and the rage. And so when it happened to Dakota, who was my best friend at the time, like I was like, okay, I don't want to lose my best friend. Like I this is becoming a pattern. I need to like seek proper help and like I'm so grateful for the diagnosis, honestly, because it was never upward from there, but it was an answer after years of just like feeling the symptoms.
And I remember we were talking maybe like a year or 2 years ago where you were really trying to find some DBT therapy. So there was a period of time between diagnosis and getting like the right therapy for you, I guess we can call it, where you were kind of in limbo, it sounds like. What did you do during those years?
Yes, there was. So before I like learned about Bold Beautiful Borderline podcast, I didn't know that DBT was the right therapy for or the recommended therapy for people with BPD. So I was in talk therapy for like when I got diagnosed, luckily my therapist was like, I don't specialize in BPD or that, so you should find someone who specializes in that or DBT. So then I found someone who said they were like, yeah, I know DBT, and I didn't know what DBT was, so I was just like, okay, and it turned out to be just talk therapy for like 2 years straight. So yeah, I was in talk therapy. I was in weekly, like once a week therapy for 2 years straight doing talk. And honestly, I like knew that I knew that I wasn't getting help in terms of like the BPD, but I didn't know how to say like this therapy isn't helping me to my therapist. And like, of course, talk therapy is good and like went well. And she always made me feel like understood and seen, but like I never got the skills. Like I didn't learn the DBT skills. So ev so like for 2 years straight, I would be thinking like, okay, I'm going to therapy to help my BPD. But it was talk therapy and I was never learning skills. And it my, my symptoms never like decreased or anything. Like I would still have BPD episodes every week or something like that. And then I found out, okay, DBT is needed. So at that point, So from 2021 to 2023, I was doing talk therapy and um I believe I found out DBT was like the recommended one in 2020. Oh wait, no, I found it out. I'm sorry. I found it out when I was diagnosed because but I guess I didn't like make a move to try to find a new therapist till 2023. And it only was because my therapist who was doing the talk therapy with me was like, "Oh, I'm leaving the practice or something, or like I can't see you anymore." So I was like, "Okay, like now I need to find like a new therapist and like this time I want to make sure it's DBT." But that time of me like being like, "Okay, I want to find a new therapist." That mixed with me quitting my job to pursue my passion of like cooking and just content creation and stuff like that. So then I lost health insurance. So I was out of therapy for like a year or yeah, 2023 to 2024. So that was just like, so from talk therapy to like no therapy. And that was rough. Like I just didn't know the skills, so I would have a lot of anger episodes and fear of being alone, moodiness, mood swings, dissociation, all that stuff. Up until 2024 when I got health insurance again. And well, I got on Medicaid and I finally found a psychiatrist and a therapist that did like DBT. At first, like the therapy was going well, but she kept saying like I like talk therapy more. And then I was just like, I need like at this point, like I put my foot down and I was like, I can't, like I need DBT. Like I have been going through at this point 3 years of just like knowing I have BPD and not getting the right therapy. So I left her and I like asked for a reference for another therapist who does DBT and I literally called the office and I was like, "Does she specialize in DBT?" And they said yes. And I messaged her before our first appointment. I was like, "Hi, Courtney, like I just want to make sure like you specialize in DBT. I don't want to waste each other's times." And she was like, "Yes, I do." And so I have been seeing the same therapist for about a year now, since 2024 to 2025 now, and I've been getting the skills, learning the skills and like processing everything, and it's been amazing.
Yeah, so you went on quite the self-advocacy journey to get to this place.
Yes,
Mhm.
yes, definitely. Just really trying to find the right therapy and like speaking out. And yeah, I did.
Yeah, it's hard work, right?
Yeah.
Like it's a full-time job to be mentally ill. Let's just be real about
Oh
that.
my gosh. Yes, it is. Like, it really is. So, I mean, on top of just finding the right therapist, that's just it takes so much work already. But I mean, once you do, it's a beautiful thing.
Mhm.
And I mean, I still have a lot to learn with DBT and all that, but I truly feel like I am the healthiest I've been mentally, and my relationship with Dakota is the healthiest it's been. I'm the happiest I've been. So, like, there's a light at the end. Like, there is hope with all the self-advocacy, needing it, and not knowing your diagnosis for years and all that. But yeah.
Absolutely. I want to make sure we talk about your cooking and your content creation. Your reels are so freaking cute. I have no idea how you make reels the way you do, but I'm just like in awe of them. We don't have much time left, but tell us like what journey are you on right now?
So I am just on a like self-find journey, and I am doing what I love to do, which is cooking and like content creation and helping small businesses with their social media. And I'm able to do it with the help and support of my husband, Dakota. He's just like all in, like, I want you to be happy, do what you want. And like he knows that like with the type of just mental illness I have, it's tiring to do everyday things. So like him just being like, I want you to do what you want and like be happy. It's just amazing. So I am in like my self-find journey of like doing what I love and doing, yeah, like making content creation for small businesses, helping them grow because, small businesses also don't really have like as much resources as large corporations. Like they don't really have that big of a voice sometimes. So I like advocating for them and yeah, that's kind of where I'm at right now in life.
It's been really cool to watch you do this. I feel like from when I first met you 2 years ago or so to where you're at right now, like I remember you being nervous about your relationship with Dakota because of your mental health. And then seeing you get married and these beautiful photos of your little wedding that you had. And I say little because it seemed like you had a small ceremony and maybe you're planning to have another ceremony at some point. And seeing all of the work that you've done with your content creation, which is your business, like it's just really cool to watch you blossom.
Oh my gosh, thank you so much. That means literally the world. Like, I see you as an amazing human being, and just being able to connect like this means so much. And like, you have done so much for the BPD community. You have no idea. And if you do, like, you don't even, I just feel like you have no idea how much you have helped, like, and just are there. And yeah, thank you so much for like being happy to see me blossom. Like, that means literally the world. And yeah, so much love to you.
All right, back. Thank you. Where can people find you on social?
You can find me at julia.not.child, Julia not child on Instagram. That is my food and just kind of self-find account. And yeah.
Are
So
you
if
on,
you like,
are you
if
on
you like,
TikTok?
I am, it's the same account, julia.not.child. I don't post on there as much. Um, but yes, I am also.
I love it. Well, let's end with one thing you want people to know about borderline.
Okay. One thing I want people to know about borderline is that you are so lovable and like worthy of good love, and doing the work is it's just so powerful, especially like when you feel alone. So like, yeah, just you are worthy. You are so loved. Like, even when you feel alone, even when you feel like every relationship has failed you and you're the reason why it's failed because you're the problem. Like, no, there is someone who is meant for you. The universe is like rooting for you, and you're gonna find someone who is there to understand who you are, to be there and just like do life with. Like it is not the end of the world, no matter how old you are, like, or anything. You are meant to be loved the way that you you're meant to be, and just accept it, because it's so easy to say like we're not lovable and all that.
People need to hear it.
Yes.
Thank you so much for your time, my friend.
Of course. Thank you, Sarah. Like, seriously, thank you for your time too. And this was amazing.
Hi, listeners. Thank you for tuning in to the Bold, Beautiful Borderline podcast. I hope you enjoyed the episode today. If you liked what you heard, don't forget to subscribe, rate, and leave a review on Apple, Spotify, or wherever you get your content. That is super helpful for me. It helps us find additional folks who want to listen to the show, want to feel seen, family members who want to learn, and partners who want to understand. If you want to follow along to more than just the podcast, find us on Instagram at Bold Beautiful Borderline, find me at Borderline from Hell, or head over to boldbeautifulborderline.com, where there's information, resources, a place to leave a voicemail to be heard on the podcast, which I love, and just general content. All of that information can be found in the show notes. And if you want to get exclusive content, which is bonus episodes, journal prompts, worksheets, all sorts of extra stuff, sometimes videos of me with my hair very crazy, with kind of impulsive borderline rants, head over to Patreon and consider becoming a member. That is super helpful with creating content that allows me to destigmatize BPD and all of the other wild mental health struggles that we discuss on the podcast. A huge thanks to everyone who joins on the podcast to share their story and just generally helps keep this thing alive. Especially my friend Corey Evans from the Evergreen Band. He produced and created the music that is the intro and outro for this show, as well as the cover art that was created by my husband, Talon Abbott. Their information is found in the show notes. All of the information discussed in the podcast is purely personal experience. This is not medical recommendations. This is not therapy recommendations. There's no producer for this show. It's all me.